Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Community Rewind. I'm your host Alex Mead, and we are hitting on a wide variety of things this week. We got a student, we're getting back into the kitchen, and but up first, we got to talk to somebody who knows a thing or two about Campbellsville University. I don't know, maybe about 26 years worth of knowledge. He's beloved by faculty, staff, and students, and everybody in the Campbellsville University family is going to miss him for the future due to his retiring. Mr. Ed Pavey.
Just over 26. I came on May the 2nd. I think it was my first official starting day in 1994. But I'm officially retired, yeah. Well, getting here was one of my favorite moments just because I felt like God had, I felt like when God called me into ministry, He was calling me into campus ministry. But I served on the staff of a couple of different churches in Kentucky for, I guess, 13 and a half years before coming to Campbellsville. And by that time when I finally got a call asking if I'd be interested in doing this, I was 37, and I sat down with my wife and I said, all this is going on. I said, I'm not sure at 37 that I'm going to be able to connect with the students, because that's, for an 18-year-old, that's almost 20 years. We're barely in the same generation. And so anyway, my wife was very affirming, and it all worked out. But just getting here was one of my favorite moments. Another, gosh, there have been so many, but the different mission trips, and along the way, just a few highlights. I had a chance to work with another campus minister, and we took 30 students to El Salvador to do cleanup after a flash flood as a result of Hurricane Mitch. And among those students that went, I had a niece that went, but our very own Shane Garrison, Dr. Shane Garrison, was a student, and he was on that trip, and that's where he met his wife, and as a part of that team. And so it was kind of neat to be a part of that mission experience. And it's been neat to see how Shane and Jennifer's relationship grew, and how they're both serving the Lord in a very powerful way. But mission trip like that with that many students, and we had some men and built houses, and we actually were in the middle of working one day, and this convoy of U.S. military vehicles was going by because they were doing work in the next little village. So it's going by, and they did it every day, back and forth. And one day while we're out, this convoy stops. Everyone notices. You kind of turn around, this door pops open. This guy pops up out of one of these vehicles and yells my name. Oh, what? And his name was Don Hamlin, or was it Ed Hamlin? They're two brothers who were both on a part of a thing called the Church Relations Council at Campbellsville. And this one was a military guy, and all of a sudden he's popping up out of a vehicle. I didn't even know he was in El Salvador, but this convoy stops, he pops out and yells my name and says, "Hey, how are you doing?" So, we talked for a few minutes. All the students are just staring at me like, "How do you know someone in El Salvador who's getting out of a military truck?" I said, "Well, it's what happens." But it really was cool because we got a chance to take that group over to their camp where the soldiers were. We led a Wednesday night prayer meeting, had a chance to share with the soldiers over there. As a result of that, I don't know, they may have done that anyway, but it certainly didn't hurt that Don Hamlin and I knew each other. And his daughter went to school at Campbellsville. So that was a cool thing, that mission trip. And then for a while, we had a partnership between Campbellsville University itself and BCM and Campbellsville Baptist Church, where I go to church, to do mission work in amongst an indigenous people in southern Costa Rica called the Nabe. It was an eye-opening experience. We had Campbellsville alumni, again, who were missionaries in southern Costa Rica from the International Mission Board. There are people who had migrated. They're, very much this people group were migrant workers. They would just travel from place to place, country to country, working in coffee harvest or wherever they could find day labor kind of thing to survive. But a lot had immigrated into Costa Rica. They were not from there, but it was an eye-opener because Costa Rica put them on reservations. And I really thought the United States was the only country that really did that. But there are 5 reservations of Nabe in Costa Rica. And so what started out as a mission trip to connect with alumni and help them in their ministry developed into something more. I had the chance to go there, I think, 13 times over the period of about 10, 11 years. And we had student groups alone by themselves went. Campbellsville Baptist ended up having groups go without students. And then we had some hybrid teams of Campbellsville students and Campbellsville Baptist church folks going down to Costa Rica to work among this people group. And we'd established Bible studies and worship points in the reservation where we got started. And we were just getting ready to branch out into the second reservation. We did a little work there, but that alumni couple was transferred from there to Southern Colombia. I don't mean the city, I mean the country of Colombia. They were right on the Amazon River, but it kind of, the Nabe, some speak Spanish, most speak their own tribal language. And so when we'd go down, we'd speak English, it'd be translated into Spanish, then it had to be translated again into Nobere, their language. It was very, very complicated. And so, no one in Campbellsville speaks Nobere. There was just, there was no, when that change happened, there was no way to continue that partnership. So some 3 very memorable things related to mission work, mission opportunities, because I was the campus minister at Campbellsville. It was really cool. I love golf and I love riding my motorcycle, but I don't want to do either one of those every day. I don't know. I've always believed that God will let me know when it's time to. Like I didn't go in search of another church when I was at a church. I just didn't figure I would need to be out there flying my resume around, that it would happen. And I'd understand, this is from God kind of thing. And I believe it's been God's leading to move into this time where I've retired from Campbellsville Baptist Church. I don't think ministry's over. Well, it won't be over as long as I'm on earth. There's some kind of ministry. I don't know what exactly that will be. I don't know. I'm not talking necessarily about a paid ministry, but there'll be avenues for ministry to be involved with. There'll be opportunities for me to continue to grow as a disciple of Jesus Christ. And I'm just waiting to see. I don't know that I don't have a bucket list of this is what I want to get done in retirement outside of I got to do some work in our landscaping because it looks awful, and I got to do a little bit of this. I got to prune some dead branches off the trees. There's no honking goal. Actually, on that mission trip to El Salvador, there was an older couple that were kind of acting as hosts of our group while we were there, but they were doing a thing called International Service Corps through the International Mission Board of the Southern Baptist Convention. And this guy had owned his own company. They'd sold it to his sons, but they were giving sometimes 3 months, sometimes 6 months. In El Salvador, they committed to 2 years in retirement to go in and just helping the career missionaries on the field at that location with some whatever they needed. And I thought, that's a pretty cool thing, maybe to be involved in those things. I've been involved in different mission trips, as a campus minister, but also some mission trips as a part of my church, Campbellsville Baptist Church. There's a plug, and so I'll continue to do that and help out. I got a lot of experience. A lot of people at our church have a lot of experience, domestic and international. And so, however I can be of help, I just, that's what I want to. That's what I want to do. I didn't have any preconceived. I'm getting out of campus ministry and I'm going to go into this. I didn't have any of that. It's just, let's see what comes and how that works. So I want to be faithful, to God all along the way, but I'll just see what happens.
Welcome back to Community Rewind. To me anyways, it's really hard to get 26 years of ministry, 26 years of fun, 26 years of being at the same place, doing all these sorts of things. It's hard to get that all into one segment. So what we got to do for segment 2, we got to send it back to Mr. Ed Pavey.
When you're in the ministry, ministers move. I once had somebody, when my wife and I were newlyweds, they said, when you all get ready to buy a house that'll sell. Because ministers, the average tenure in the 1980s, I know that's another millennium ago, but in the 1980s, the average length of ministry for a youth minister, which I was like a year and a half. And the pastors were 2.5 years. So no one was staying in churches very long on the average. Living here, providing that stability for the kids. And it gives you some good roots. And Campbellsville's a good town to have roots in. I mean, really, it's a great place. Great place to live. Great place to be a part of a church. Great place to raise our kids. Well, yeah, I'm gonna miss the students. Student ministry is what I felt God was calling me into when He called me into ministry, and even junior high and high school students when I was in the churches, and then college students. It comes with its own demands because students are around for, sometimes a semester, but sometimes 4 or 5 years. But there's a constant turnover. That's a hard challenge. A lot of people they think it's really simple. Oh, you're just a campus minister. How easy? Well, it's not as easy as you may think once you get into it. But missing the people, the students, the co-workers at Campbellsville. City's a great place to live. I think Campbellsville University is a great place to work and or to do ministry. And so, but it's not just the buildings. Campbellsville, obviously, the church is more than the building. It's the people. And the same thing with university. It's the people. It's the students that you see who are come along, and you get into youth ministry or college ministry, you should be able to recognize pretty quickly that you're not the sharpest tool in the shed. There are students, ever since I got into ministry, who I knew their brain power is off the charts. And they may have been the biggest goofball as a freshman in high school or as a freshman in college, but oh my gosh, now they're a physician, the rocket scientist, whatever. And you just, it is incredible, and I don't know what to say, fulfilling. I'm faltering to find the right word, but to be able to see these students progress and grow up. At the same time, there are students who come and for whatever reason it just doesn't click for them, and you wonder. Sometimes it hadn't clicked for a student, you're not aware, and then all of a sudden you're a semester later and you think, hey, where is so-and-so? Well, yeah, they weren't even here this semester, and you wonder, I hope everything's okay with him. I hope everything's progressing well for her, because you can see some potential there. But seeing the students and how they far exceed maybe not what they really believed they were capable of, but just how well they've done in the world of education, in the world of science, in the world of the church or whatever. It's impressive. We got a former student who's now the liaison for a Catholic Church of Kentucky. I don't even use the right terminology, but he's a good guy, everyday guy. Campbellsville graduate, and so gonna miss being a part, even if it's just a very small part of those kind of experiences for those people. And at the same time, I am involved at least marginally with the youth ministry at Campbellsville Baptist Church, and so still maybe having an opportunity to have a touch or be a part of that ministry and seeing how those young boys, those girls develop and hopefully help them learn to make good choices. That's a really cool thing. But you're going to miss that with the university. had one of those reality moments. I guess it was Tuesday. I was in the office and trying to get my stuff out of the office. It's been a slow process, but anyway, one of the last things was getting all my keys and checking them off and putting them in an envelope, and I'd done all that. And I thought, you know what, I haven't checked the mail since before my heart surgery in March because everything's been on lockdown. So I went over and got all this mail out, and I walked back to the chapel, and all of a sudden I was at the front door, and I thought, I already put my key in this envelope. I can't even get in the building. Living life for God is an adventure. And I've had, adventure of being married and doing this ministry and having 2 kids and watching them grow up. I've also had the adventure of walking through an experience with cancer and walking through open heart surgery. No guarantee that everything was going to be great after either one of those, but everything is okay right now. And so, living this life that God has given us is an adventure, and I want to do that. I think there's more adventure out there. I'm not going to whatever that falls is in South America. Certainly not going to fly my house down there tied to a bunch of balloons to get there, but adventure is out there, and I'll just do my best to try to serve God all along the way. Well, again, I just thank God for my time at Campbellsville. I can't believe it's been 26 years. It feels like we just got here yesterday, kind of a thing. But I know that it's going to be, this coming school year is going to be one of the screwiest experiences. Nothing's like it has ever been. And so incredible challenges, and I'll be praying for the folks in campus ministries and everybody, faculty, staff, students. But I know that regardless of the circumstances, the variables that are going to come into play, we can still serve God, we can still glorify God, we can still share the love of Jesus Christ through all those different things. And that really is a big part of what's made Campbellsville an incredible experience. The opportunity to do that, the opportunity for people to share and show Christ's love, toward us, toward me, toward our family. And so that can continue to happen regardless of whether you got a mask on or whether you got a social distance. Despite all of it, whatever it changes, whatever we have to address, whatever has to be addressed, Christ is there. The love of Christ can be shown. The love of Jesus Christ can be shared. And so, so we'll see what happens along those lines. But every year presents its unique opportunities. I don't think anyone's going to argue that there's going to be some unique opportunities in 2021. So I'll be praying for this school and praying for everybody over there. And one of the cool things, the last thing I'll say is one of the cool things about working at Campbellsville is that I know I have friends in campus ministry, at the state schools, and there may be ministry director or campus ministers with different organizations, and they were just working with through the Kentucky Baptist Convention. But at Campbellsville, they said, "Are you all by yourself?" And I wanted to say, well, I'm the only one on staff, but technically there are ministers all over Campbellsville University, from faculty, staff members. There are people doing ministry. It's probably a big part of how a lot of professors or people see their role, their job, their calling anyway. And there's ministry goes on all over the campus. If it was all on my shoulders, it'd be impossible. It'd be complete failure. But and it's not just the people in the School of Theology. It's music, it's education, it's social work, it's school of nursing, and on and on and on that goes. And so I'll miss being a part of it from that perspective, but I'll keep praying that all those people continue to minister to each other and to the students.
Welcome back to Community Rewind. Up next is someone that you all know, someone that you have seen a ton of times. He is the host of What's Cooking Neighbor, Don Smith. And I'm telling you, you can take the Campbell's University off my shirt and everything. I love doing What's Cooking Neighbor because Don can actually seriously make some great food. And even if you watch the show and you say, I don't like that type of food, or I don't like that food or something like that, listen, I don't like mushrooms. I never eat mushrooms, but I will eat mushrooms if Don Smith fixes them. Seriously, he is an absolute amazing cook. And he's going to give us some tips on how to kind of spice things up in the kitchen a little bit with everyone getting bored of the same foods and with kids around and everything that's going on right now. And get ready because he is about to take your taste buds on a culinary journey.
What's up, guys? I'm Don Smith, the host of What's Cooking Neighbor. And I know with everything that's going on right now, been stuck in the house, with your kids been stuck in the house, we're all going a little stir crazy. And I got 6 kids in my house. So, to break up the monotony, I get the kids involved in the kitchen. Also outside on the grill. One fun thing you can do is ask your kids their favorite dish, no matter what it is. And one night out of the week, that kid gets to help you make that dish for the entire family. And I got a lot of kids in my family right now, so that means I'm going to have lots of help over the summer. On the menu today, we have beef hot dogs. We even wrapped some in bacon, my son's favorite. I even got both my nephews out of the house to help us man the grill. And boy, does this look and smell good. They can also help with breakfast, like crack the eggs, then mix them, put bacon in the pan. My daughter and I make French bread from scratch. It was messy, but it was fun. Get the kids into help baking. Kids love to bake. And now that school is out and we're all sick of the same things for dinner every night, mix it up a little, change it up a little, do something different. We also threw some bacon cheeseburgers on the grill, my nephew's favorite. To go along with that, we had macaroni salad and potato salad with our beef hot dogs. It looked delicious, it smelled delicious, it tasted delicious. I also got the girls in the house involved. They helped me make desserts. We made banana splits and strawberry shortcakes for everyone in the house. That went right along with that delicious meal we made earlier outside on the grill. And during this time, I asked some of the kids in the house what were some of the things they missed most because of this shutdown and the pandemic and being stuck in the house all the time. This is what they had to say.
I miss vacations, my friends, gymnastics, and sports. I miss going to school and going to vacations and going to restaurants and hanging out with my friends and going to slumber parties.
I miss going to school, I miss the park, and I miss my friends.
I miss going to my internship, hanging out with my friends, going to water parks, missing school, and absolutely being stuck in this house.
As you can see, this pandemic is taking a toll on all of us, so it's up to us to do what we can to help our kids get through this insanity. It's also important to keep yourself and your kids active and motivated. Go for a bike ride, go for a walk, go for a hike, or just jump in a swimming pool. But most importantly, have fun and stay safe this summer. We're all having a hard time right now with COVID-19, so it's up to us to keep our family safe, happy, and entertained. So get in the kitchen, make some great food and some great dishes, and remember, not even COVID-19 can stop us from taking our taste buds on a culinary journey. I'm Don Smith, the host of What's Cooking Neighbor, and I'll see you in the kitchen real soon.
Welcome back to Community Rewind. You know, at Campbell's University is all about the students, and that is who we have up next. One of our students, Chase Spinks, who is actually a mass communications student. So some of the commercials you've seen, some of the videos and ball games you have watched, Chase has had a hand in making that. He does a great job in this field. Don't tell him I said that though. All right, don't tell it. Just let's keep that between us. All right. He's going to talk about how the spring semester finished up from a student's perspective, as well as what he's been doing during the summer.
What's going on, guys? My name's Chase. I'm going to be a junior next year. These past couple months, I've kept myself very busy by helping out local churches with getting their in-house services online, which for a lot of us is very tricky and challenging. I've been editing a ton, uploading a ton, and shooting a ton of video, which has been really helpful as far as experience as far as making something that is very suitable to audiences not just for me and my friends or something like that, but something that is meant to be viewed by a lot of people. As well as, I've had a lot of leisure time. I've had a time to just relax. Spent a lot of time playing video games like I know a ton of people have. Spent a lot of time reading lately. Spent a lot of time on FaceTime and Zoom with people. Every week my small group meets and we have a Zoom call for about an hour, and it's amazing. Also, I've been prepping for next semester a lot, as far as getting my classes squared away, as far as getting my schedule precise and clean, my major even. I've been working on my major to make sure it's precise on what I want to do, and it is encompassing of everything that I could do. Beyond that, I've spent a lot of time, honestly, going over some old textbooks for help. I've had to look back at some guidance from smarter people in order to try and make my best work these past few months. Other than that, I've just really been resting, and next semester is going to be incredibly busy, and so I don't want to take this time for granted, where I have days where I don't have anything on the to-do list, which is amazing. I hope you guys are doing great. Thank you for watching.
And that's going to wrap things up for this week's edition of Community Rewind. Remember, if you missed anything at all, you can always head on over to WLCUtv.com. Scroll down till you see the Community Rewind icon, or Dialogue on Public Issues icon, or What's Cooking Neighbor icon. You know, now that you've seen Don do some cooking, you might want to try them out yourself. Now, you might be able to fix them as good as Don, but I promise you they're still pretty good. So you can check out all of the What's Cooking Neighbors over on the YouTube channel, as well as they air tonight. Well, if you're watching this live anyways, they air Friday nights at 8 and 8:30, so make sure you check those out as well. And for Community Rewind and WLCU and the Campbell's University family and everybody else that wants to join in, Ed, congratulations on your retirement. You truly deserve it. You really embodied what Campbell's University is all about, and you really deserve your retirement, man. Awesome job. Congratulations. And you know, I hope everything goes great. Good wishes for you in the future. I don't know. I'm not great with the Philly stuff. I'm not really good with it. And then Chase helped remind us what it was like being a student and trying to gear up for that fall semester. And because I know we're all still kind of cooped up, but those days are still rolling by, and the fall's gonna be on us before we know it. So for Ed Pavey, Don Smith, and Chase Spinks, I've been your host, Alex Mead, and I will see you all next Friday night at 7 p.m. for more Community Rewind.